DJ PK, and we're joined now by Frank Dolce, former Ute quarterback. Frank, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Frank, have you been spending more time wondering whether Kyle Whittingham is going to retire, or have you spending more time thinking, I wonder if Kalani would really go to Penn State, or if this is all leverage?
I've been spending most of my time wondering why Utah's struggling against the run so much.
I think they got bored.
What? That's been mostly on my mind. I thought the Kalani to Penn State news was interesting. I don't know. I think that I feel like that might be a little bit of a leverage deal. But I know that Kalani also had, once upon a time, I don't know if that's true anymore, once upon a time had thoughts of being associated with an iconic program like that. So I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't say it's completely leverage, but just, feeling it out a little bit. Coach Whittingham retiring, the talk seems to be really ramping up these days. And I don't know. People are trying to make a lot of the things that Coach Whittingham is saying right now about retirement. And at the end of the year, I think it's always natural to feel like that. And because it's just a long season. It's a grind, and it is emotionally and physically and spiritually all of the taxing. I mean, it's just difficult. And so I think this time of the year, it's natural to think, oh, I don't know if I can go through this again. And then all of a sudden you're in the off season for a month and you think, well, you know what? I really like the team that's coming back, or I really feel like I have more to give, or whatever it is. Although I understand that Coach Whittingham does have a little bit of a time frame that he has to let the administration know.
He does.
So that will come into play.
Coming up next week is the drop-dead deadline. That doesn't mean they have to announce it, but he has to let them know. I think he could easily go another 3, 4, 5 years if he wanted. I don't think his health is an issue. I don't think his motivation is an issue. Any of that stuff, incentive, desire, competitiveness, he's still got all that, and I believe he'll have that. In fact, I told him that once. I said, if it comes down to you not having competitiveness, well, then at that point you will be dead because you're a Whittingham and you've got it every day. It's just a question of what he wants to do with his life, not all those other things. He'll always have that, but does he want to channel that in a different way? Because for all of us, time runs out. And his father, it ran out when he was 64.
Yeah, right. Interesting, Coach Chris Peterson, he's a guy that seems like he, in terms of health and intellect and the ability to coach, he still has all of the tools, but it feels like he just completely lacks the desire. He's had plenty of opportunities since he's retired, and I don't think he's even taken a sniff at anything. He's just I'm done.
Right.
It's done. It's gone, and he's recognized that, and he's moved on.
Yeah, I think for some people change is hard, but I think Kyle, he doesn't. I don't know that he relishes change, but he rolls with it much easier than many do.
Yes, I don't disagree with that, but what is the change? What is the retirement? I feel like he has to be in something. I don't think that he steps away, like we said a week ago, and he's golfing 4 days a week, and he's, doing whatever else, without some being mixed up in some competitive, strategic, something that challenges him. I just don't know that I see him stepping away and not having something like that in his life.
Well, he'd still be involved as an ambassador with the university, with the football program, the university, and he's got his family, and he's one of these dudes, and I can speak from experience on this. He does a lot of things that don't go noticed and are just completely, public is totally unaware of his desire to help people.
Yeah. So do you see him running? Do you see him running an organization, like a not-for-profit, a nonprofit? Do you see him? I could see him stepping away and being, like you said, an ambassador, but maybe a more engaged.
Yeah, the way
like
Ron
chairman of the
McBride
board.
has turned out to be, what would you say, a community asset. Ron McBride's got his hand in a lot of different things to make the community better.
I mean, he could go out on the circuit and just make the rounds of talking to
morning sports
visiting
talk
and
shows.
talking.
Morning sports talk shows.
Yeah, yes, motivational speaking. I don't want to call it inspirational speaking. Business coaching sort of stuff. I think he could make the rounds doing that and be very good at it. He's super thoughtful. So I mean, I guess you're kind of talking me into Kyle Whittingham retiring, but I'm standing firm. Like there has to be something. I don't know what I like. Retirement to me is that is it's a little frightening. Like,
oh, totally.
I don't want to step away and have no sense of purpose.
Retirement in your 50s is a dream and a fantasy, and then in your 60s, it's a scary reality that you don't want no part of.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
It sounds
Whoever
good when
made
you're
that
younger and you're going to fantasize of these great times, but then it's right there in front of you. Oh my gosh. No way.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
that means you're doing what you're going to doing what you're doing when you're going to die, and that it faces you, it stares back at you in the mirror, and it can be an ugly look, especially if you're me.
I think there's a couple things to hit on. Well, for everybody, there's the financial piece, but of course, with his job, so
That's
you
fine.
can check that box.
Yeah.
But then there's the staying connected to something. What you just said about sense of purpose. Like, what is your purpose?
Yeah.
What do you do? Everybody else has got their day and they're going on. Like, what do you do and why do you do it? And do you enjoy doing it? And to PK's point, he's got a lot of grandkids, and he wants to be involved with them in a way he couldn't be with his kids when he was coaching. But the grandkids go to school, so there's a big chunk of the day that they're not available.
We'll go to the gym. I need a spotter.
And then
the other
also
thing is, like,
a circle of people to interact with. Do you have a circle of people to interact with? Because when you leave a job, you lose all that interaction with those people.
Yeah, and it's just so natural to have that, and so you have to work at having that interaction. I've seen, like, in my own experience with people I've known who I know who have retired, and that seems to be like the most challenging part, and they're always searching for that social aspect, and that's super challenging. So I would say those two are like right on top, having a sense of purpose and having a community where you're still engaged and have a group of people where you can go interact on a daily basis. We're just social animals, and I think that's a requirement.
I like to think of myself as a social butterfly rather than a social animal.
I think a lot of people think of you as a butterfly, PK.
And Frank, thanks for telling Hanley that I'm a good guy.
Hanley doesn't know how deep we go back, and he was reaching out, like kind of like inquisitive, like, I don't know. I mean, I ran into this guy, and I know him on the radio, but I don't know what I should think about him. And I did you a solid. Don't worry.
I know you do. If you know me, yes. If you don't, it's probably best you keep me at arm's length.
Well, Hanley's one of the best. Like, you get to know that guy, and he'll be forever in your social circle. Like, that's the guy you want around. He'll keep you right on your toes.
Do you care about the bowl destination, or is it playoff or bust for you?
No, playoff's not even a thing. Like, Big 12 in playoffs isn't even a thing. It's kind of ridiculous, and I think the Big 12 is getting short. Getting the stiff arm here on this whole thing, but and it's a competitive league, and it's a league that would compete, especially with, upper echelon in the Big Ten, upper echelon in the SEC. Those are teams that are just going to be hard for anyone to beat. But you drop down from that, and it's not such a far drop.
Right.
Then Big 12 is very competitive.
100%
in all of the all those other areas. So I think they're just getting shafted on this one.
Some system was created, and Utah supposedly, allegedly didn't qualify, but they had a banner season, and they were a really good football team.
Yeah, I think all of those things, and the way that they've won games this year has been exciting. Not standard, not typical Utah wins. I think it's a very entertaining football team. Offensively, there's such a depth of who's going to make a play this week, which guy's going to step up this week. It's been very interesting to watch that unfold, and the way that it's been managed by Coach Beck and that offensive staff, who I think have, in lots of ways, have really found hit their stride in the latter part of this football season. Clearly, as they've won games when the defense was faltering a little bit. And by the way, the defense faltering, like those two games, it's 2 games in a row now, and maybe a season of kind of thinking like, well, there's been some plays in the run game, but as a defense that has such a great DNA and foundation in technically how to play on the defensive side, such a wealth of experience of coaching the defensive side. Like it may have been 2 weeks in a row, but I don't see that lasting longer. Like they'll get that corrected. They'll get that figured out. And there's enough talent on the field to manage all of that. So yeah, I'm super optimistic about this football team. The way they finished, I think early in the season, lost a couple games and people were losing their minds, including me a little bit. Like, where is this team headed? They just did an amazing job of getting it right back on track and feeling like they could go into any scenario and be really, really competitive.
The offense, do you think it's going to produce like this because of the nature of the offense, or they did have at least 2 and maybe more NFL guys up front, and the run blocking was excellent, and that's what made the offense go?
Yeah. Whenever you win at the line of scrimmage consistently,
your offense looks
then
great.
You're just gonna win. Like that. That's just as much as we talk about everything else, and Dampier throwing a great pass at the end of the game, and Parker running for 100 yards and breaking through the line of scrimmage. I mean, all of those things are amazing, and none of those things happen unless the offensive line is creating the opportunity. So it just all happens right at the line of scrimmage. And since Texas Tech, I don't think they played their best against BYU, but since Texas Tech, really, that offensive line has now, I think, at least reached the level of expectation.
Well, Frank, you have reached our level of expectation.
Oh, exceeded it.
Really?
Yeah,
Exceeded it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, PK. Thank you, PK.
We will let you go. We appreciate the time, as always.
Hey, you guys are the best. I've so enjoyed being with you this year. Do we have another one of these? Are we going to do a bowl game special or something?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Find the destination and opponent, yeah.
Yep. And we'll know that.
Sunday.
Yeah,
We'll know that another week.
What are we thinking?
Vegas.
What are we thinking?
Vegas.
Who?
I don't know. Somebody out of the Big Ten, but I don't know.
Yep, that.
Nebraska, Illinois, Iowa. Somebody of that ilk. How's that for a big fancy word?
I like all of those. I like all those matchups. I like all those matchups. I think that's good.
Well, then we have to find out who's actually going to play in the bowl game. Seems like there's a bunch of guys who might be best served by not playing in the bowl game.
For Utah?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to get drafted, don't get hurt in the bowl game.
Oh, man. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like, if you're heading into the playoffs, everybody's playing. And if you're playing in a bowl game, then people are a little more thoughtful about the next level.
Yep.
You know what? Unfortunately, I mean, I want to say that you're committed to the team, you're there for the bowl game, you have to play. But I have a hard time not leaning the other way. Like, you know what? They've done their time.
Yeah.
The bowl game is whatever. And bowl games are almost meaningless these days. Like, how many bowl games are there? 70? I don't know.
I think there's 40.
And so,
give or take.
Yeah, close.
40. Yeah, 40.
And so I was rounding up, as Alema says. I was rounding up. So, I mean, like, I just have a hard time not saying, yeah, this guy has a whole future ahead of him. And this one opportunity to maybe set up his family for life or whatever. And so you just have to be really thoughtful about that.
He's Frank Dolce. We talk to him every week. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up, Jay Paterno is going to join us, son of the legend Joe, and we will talk Penn State's football search with him and Kalani Sitake's future. Stay with us.